Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see about Soviet Socialist Realism. During the Russian Revolution of 1917, the Orthodox communists in Russia thought that the 19th century Russian realism should be the aesthetic standard of a communist society. They believed that the modernist revolutions in European art, music, and literature, which occurred around 1910, primary practitioners being Picasso, Stravinsky, Schönberg, James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, T.S. Eliot, and others, in no way served the purpose of the societal goods in their writings. The Soviet socialists championed the principle of Partynost, that is, the commitment to the working class cause of the party, which they derived from Lenin's essay Party Organization and Party Literature. Thus, any literature that does not go by the interest of the Communist Party is not regarded as good enough to be read. Moreover, they even believed in the theory of the class nature of art or clavista. Soviet Socialist Realism focused on realist representation in literary works, which is beneficial for the party's cause and consequently championed that kind of literary works. George Lucas. George Lucas, the Hungarian Marxist scholar in his works The Historical Novel and Studies in European Realism, advances his theory of realism. He rejected the naturalist perspectives of the European novel and championed the realist view that the novel reflects reality not merely by rendering the surface appearance but by providing us a truer, more complete, more vivid, and more dynamic reflection of reality. He is Marxist as he tries to look at representation of reality from materialistic and historical perspective. A literary work reflects not individual phenomena in isolation but the full purpose of life. George Lucas argues in History of Class Consciousness that materialist analysis must concern itself with the relation to society as a whole. Ideology for Lucas is a form of false consciousness that arises whenever the subjective consciousness of a specific class, typically the ruling class, is taken to be the objective consciousness of society at large. In the meaning of contemporary realism, he attacks the modernist from a Marxist perspective. Bertolt Brecht. The Russian formalist conception of defamiliarization is taken up by Bertolt Brecht to present a new kind of theatre in the modern age known as epic theatre or parable play, where the main theatrical device is that of alienation effect. Brecht's theory is anti-Aristotelian as it avoids interconnected plot and any sense of inevitability or universality. Brecht is of the opinion that the facts of social injustice needs to be presented as if they are shockingly unnatural and totally surprising. In the process of alienation, the audience reader turns from a mere spectator to an observer and analyzes the situation objectively and consequently arouses his capacity for action. Thus, Brechtian theatre was a new and Marxist way of looking at the theatrical practices of the 20th century. The Frankfurt School. The Institute for Social Research at Frankfurt, with its scholars like Max Horkheimer, Theodor Adorno, and Herbert Marcuse, provided a fresh perspective to Marxism with a Hegelian perspective. These Marxist scholars believed that the social system is a totality in which all the aspects reflected the same essence. When they analyzed the modern culture, they talked about the one-dimensional nature of modern cultural existence. The experience of fascism in Germany and commercialism in America made them have that kind of a view. The institute was exiled in 1933 and was relocated in New York but finally returned to Frankfurt in 1950. While Herbert Marcuse proposed the notion of affirmative culture, Adorno felt that great literature does not need to directly address social reality, as Brecht and Lucas pointed out in their writings. For Adorno, art's detachment from dominant reality gives it its special significance and power. Adorno is of the opinion that art cannot simply reflect the social system but can act as a questioning and critiquing mode within the dominant reality to produce an indirect sort of knowledge. As he says, art is the negative knowledge of the actual world. Thus, in opposition to George Lucas, the Frankfurt School, especially Theodor Adorno and Max Horkheimer, praised the modernist writers such as James Joyce, Marcel Proust, and Samuel Beckett. They are of the view that the very fact that the modernist writers in their literary endeavors fragment and disrupt life results in the necessary distance and detachment that serve as an implicit critique and yield a negative knowledge of dehumanizing institutions and process of society under capitalism. Walter Benjamin, in his famous essay, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, argues that modern technical innovations, above all photography and cinema, have profoundly altered the status of work of art. At earlier times, art had its uniqueness and its aura, but once mechanical production has entered the field of art, the essential aura of art is lost. This is not only true about the visual arts but also about literature. Benjamin argued that the technical basis has become the new ethos of artistic production and consumption. Benjamin's other essay, The Author as Producer, is on the politics of artistic practice, where Benjamin argued that the new technology might have revolutionary potential, but it does not ensure a similar effect. For Benjamin, what is more important is that the artist revolutionizes the artistic forces of production of his or her time. If you have anything more to add on, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.